Hey, how y'all doing? Well, here's a boring video about the Ford Ranger coming up. So let's put something in the video at the beginning that doesn't suck or something, shall we? I don't know. This thing hasn't been started in like a week, so I figured I'll fire it up. Got just a little bit too much America in here. Had to open the doors to let some of it out, you know. Okay, that's way too much America in my garage. I can't breathe. Oh, there you go. Something to make the video not suck. Hey, how's everybody doing? Well, this video will be about this truck. That's the one I traded a four-wheel drive for. I haven't made another video of this thing. Well, I've made a bunch of videos of it, but I haven't uploaded another video of this thing until now because I've been so pissed off at it that I can't. You know, I'll sound like an asshole. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, I'm starting to get some of the bugs worked out of this thing to where I can actually, you know, drive it with it. Well, I mean, it still breaks down every now and then, but it's getting better. Like the guy I got it from said it never broke down. Well, I mean, maybe not for him, but for me it did a lot. Every day, it seemed like every day I was pushing this damn thing. I got real used to pushing this damn thing. But I'll be honest for a minute here and go over the problems with it. It's not too bad. I mean, you can drive it, but I mean, it's drivable. The brakes, there's a leak somewhere in the brake system that I can't find. I'm almost wanting to say it's sucking it into the brake booster or something. I don't know. It's leaking brake fluid somewhere, so the brakes will just go away. And that's kind of funny when that happens, because like it'll be fine and then one day there's no brakes. And it only does it like once every 3-4 days. Gotta put brake fluid in it. Never have to bleed them. Put brake fluid in it, it's fine. the deal with it, well, okay, if you hit the brakes too hard, the engine moves or does something and it actually locks the steering up under heavy braking. Not sure if you can see how close everything is there, but it's so close that it's touching and chewing away at that steering shaft. So that's nice. But anyway, so yeah, if you hit the brakes too hard, you can't steer. If you turn to the right too hard and make the engine slosh this way, you can't steer and it locks the steering up. I was going around the right hand corner and kind of, oh, I'm going to get into it and try to get a little sideways, and it started turning to the right, and when I went to correct back left, I couldn't, and I just went all the way right and right off in the ditch. It was funny, right in front of the gas station down there in my caddy corner. It was funny. It's like, oh, okay, so if you brake too hard, it won't steer. If you turn to the right too hard, it won't steer. So that I can deal with that, just don't do that, you know, okay. It overheated like a son of a gun all the time. It was like just hot running. You couldn't go through the drive-thru in it or just boil over in the drive-thru. I bet you I've overheated this thing 50 times. Well, I took this apart and was going to take the thermostat out of it and see what temperature thermostat was in it. She said it was a 195. Well, it was a 195 in backwards. They don't work so well when they're in there backwards. I remove that completely and just don't have a thermostat and haven't had a, oh, I've been driving around with that laying there. Whoops, we'll just get rid of that here. Alright, I paused the battery terminal last night because I had some wiring from my amplifier fell. I'll get to that here in a minute. Anyway, it don't overheat really anymore unless you're really thrashing on it. Its new thing though is it likes to flip that belt upside down and run the belt really funny and completely just destroy the alternator belt. I don't know why it does that, but it does all the freaking time. And I can kind of look at that and tell that's not lined up right. Same with the power steering, that's not lined up right. So it chews belts. The power steering belt actually, it's not lined up, but it's fine. It seems to not care. Every now and then it'll jump on the in between the pulleys down there that you're not going to be able to see because I'm running this old camera. Thanks, Redneck Brian. Or what's his username now? Shoot, a Redneck Life. He donated this camera years ago and I'm still using it to this day. Good camera, man. I like it. Anyway, so it doesn't overheat anymore. It will boil all the gas out of the carburetor and the fuel lines. Like when it does warm up and you stop somewhere, it still gets hot, but it doesn't overheat and boil. It just boils all the gas out and starts making it run super rich, and then it'll starve for fuel and die. So like I said, it's a Ford, so I mean it's going to have problems. Had to say that just to give Dave a little bit of shit there. He's a Ford guy. Yeah, why is it that I'm always working on this thing and always having to pull both of my Chevys out of the way to put this in the garage to work on it? I never work on my Chevys, they go all the time. This one has 302,000 miles on it and I just put a big old heavy camper on it and it likes it. Anyway, I'm not bashing Fords or anything. You know, I'm not saying they're junk because they are. They're just, you know, they're just Fords. You just got to work on them a lot. Still haven't zip tied that oil line out of the way. I was hoping that would just melt into there and light on fire and burn this thing down and I wouldn't have to mess with it, but I guess I'm going to have to put a zip tie on that. So I'm going to shut the hood and quit showing you garbage because that's, honestly, it's kind of embarrassing under this hood. Yeah, so the engine sucks, but it goes enough to keep it going. So to not hear the engine and how bad that it sounds, because it's got a little bit of a knock in it and it's got a pretty bad miss in it that only goes away when it's raging hot. Don't know why, I don't know. Something's wrong with this engine, I don't know what. The other day I was driving it and all of a sudden I had a shit ton of power. The mist went away, it was running great, I had a shit ton of power. And then it went back to running like garbage. And all the plugs look good, everything looks good. No bent push rods, all the valves are working, you know, ain't a cam lobe worn off, I don't think. It's because it came and it had power and then it went, like a Ford does. A Ford will let you know it's there, but it's just not there anymore. Anyway, this thing's really, really aggravating. So to not hear the engine, I put a stereo in it. Old JVC head unit, a random 6x9 speaker over here that doesn't fit. This speaker that doesn't really fit, just because I need mids and tweeters. I have a pair of house speakers back here, Iowas. They actually sound not too bad, and I got a set of 15s in a sealed box, which takes up all the room back there, and a 900 watt amp to run them. So it gets really, really, really loud in here, and believe it or not, for as crappy as the stereo looks, it sounds amazing. I'm really surprised. So it should just sound like complete garbage, but it sounds really good, and it's so loud it just hurts. And it rattles everything on the whole truck, and I wish I could show you that, but copyright infringement will probably not let me do that. I might find one of them, might message that DJ S10 or something, one of them people that makes the slowed down music that does a good job of it, because I don't think they can copyright slowed down music. Anyway, that door doesn't really shut all the time unless you slam it. So this is the Danger Ranger. Actually, I don't know, I'm starting to kind of like it. I hate these stupid freaking low profile gay rims on here. I hate them. I just hate them. But anyway, I'm starting to kind of like this little truck. It's really had me aggravated a whole bunch since I've had it, but I mean, there's a lot of problems with it, but it's got a good stereo now, so I'm starting to dig it. I have been driving it to work every day, well, every day that it wants to run. I've had to drive this a few times. I've had to drive the S10 once. Yeah, most of the time it'll get you there. Sometimes it gets there and it's just completely overheated. Sometimes it gets there and it's boiling all the fuel out of the carburetor and don't want to run. Sometimes it just drives like nothing happens all the way there. It really, really needs overdrive, because going down the highway at 3,000 RPM all the time is hard on it. I'll show you what it runs like. It's got good oil pressure. I mean, everything seems to be alright on it except for that damn alternator belt. That's why it's around back. I gotta fix that. Wow. And them things are loud when they fall out of the tree on that shed. You can kind of hear that noise it's making. I don't know, it's warmed up, so it's really quiet right now. When you first started, it knocks like a bitch. But you can hear the exhaust like it ain't quite right. I don't know, it's running pretty good right now, actually. Okay, well, it's going to make me a liar, because usually it runs like shit. Right now it's running really good. And it's, like I said, it's a Ford, so I mean, I guess I got to expect it to do that. But anyway, that's an update on the Danger Ranger. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of it. Man, my tools and everything are just a mess right now. Ooh, the Chevy goodness. This thing just looks fast. Oh shit, I wish the Ranger looked like that. All purty and looks like somebody cared. I don't know, I'm probably like, it sounds like I'm bashing the poor guy that gave me that Ranger, traded it to me, but I don't know, man. It's pretty Ford. It's got a lot of Fordness to it. I'm not really digging it. Anyway, that's all for this video. I will see you all in the next video. Yeah, I'll have to make a video about how bad these fuel cells suck. Holy cow. That's a don't buy fuel cell right there, I tell you, if I ever seen one. More on that to come. Anyway, there's your video on the Ranger. I'm going to get off here. This is my day off, so don't know. I might have to fire this thing up and go drive it. Or not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I might just be lazy all day. Kind of need a day off. But I'll see y'all soon. A lot of you probably hated this video. A lot of you probably enjoyed it. Oh well. You keep watching, I'll keep filming. Take her easy.